Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask everybody to please kindly take their seats at this time so we can go ahead and begin with our festivities. So once again, we're going to ask everybody once again to please take their seats at this time. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have you direct your attention to our monitors on either side of the dance floor as we present a very special video for you.
He was a spirit of rogue, experimental rebellion, disruptive of established existing systems with a goal of replacing them with something better. He locked out conventional thinking and was a provocative force to logical presumption. When we think of the great innovators, we see rare individuals who dare to think differently. But how often do we consider how they are alike? What common threads might they share? What connecting wisdom and traits unite them? In the essence of the innovator, we see intellectual freedom, passion, curiosity, but mostly a vision of unwavering boldness, a talent, a courage that one can only admire. Nikola Tesla embodied these daring qualities. He was a kind of alternative scientific artist, like a physics punk rocker. He had a different point of view. To start, Tesla saw himself not as an inventor, but as a discoverer. One that reveals solutions already in the framework of existence, to harness the wheelwork of nature, uncovering natural secrets rather than construction built on its limitations. Such an improvisational spirit of exploration led to the concepts of radio, radar, X-rays, robotics, remote control, and even early computer technology. In fact, his teleautomaton patent utilized patents for radio, wireless remote control, and a type of early logic circuit known as the nano A&D gate, which is sort of the key to binary code. But of all his innovations, it was his induction motor, a brushless engine that could efficiently run on alternate current electricity that revolutionized the status quo, propelling the world into an age of progress. Without it, most likely electric power would have been a rare luxury, only accessible to the wealthy. This motor, born of Tesla's fertile and untarnished imagination, was previously considered impossible by the scientific community. Tesla hacked through the perceived limitations of science and nature to move the world forward. His unconventional application of physical principles created a sense of unease in the world around him. He was a genius with an amazing talent that you'd hope would be used for benevolence. One whose brilliance could reward the world with free wireless energy, or punish it with a death ray or earthquake machine. He was a rogue scientist, and in a way, one could describe his mission at Wardenclyffe as the ultimate hack, a way to disrupt the entire global system of energy and information to help the world evolve, to point out the flaws of an antiquated system and spark a movement of positive change. As many innovators experience, new ideas sometimes bring a backlash, mockery, or even hatred. But they are compelled to move forward. They are undeterred by great risk. Sometimes they are unsuccessful. Or perhaps, sometimes the world just isn't ready yet. Many innovators see perceived failure as merely steps paving the way to greatness. Such failures wouldn't prevent Tesla from trying, and in some cases, triumphing over the accepted scientific dogma. For many, Tesla remains a true inspiration, an intellectual rebel, a scientific agitator, a fighter who violated the most respected preconceived notions of what was deemed possible. A slap in the face to a narrow-minded scientific consensus, one without vision or held back through a lack of experimental imagination. Tesla's spontaneous spirit of discovery joins him with the coolest radical trailblazers on the planet, who continue to launch an insurrection movement against the accepted societal norms. Like the visionaries of today, Tesla was so ahead of his time. Those who share an unyielding genius, and like the pioneers before them, possess an inner resolution, which leads to evolution. to create revolution. It is the binding spirit of innovation, the divergent differences that unite and move the world forward.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we're going to have you join us as we welcome our Board of Director President, Mr. Michael Russo.
Good evening and welcome to the second in-person Tesla Science Center Wardenclyffe Gala. We were here 3-4 years ago and then not here. It's been several years since our incredible and innovative virtual galas. Hopefully a lot of you participated in them, and it's great to see everybody back in person. The board of directors and I are grateful for each of you joining us with your presence and ongoing support. Before I share about ourselves, I want to thank a few people. Our board of directors and our original founder, Jane Alcorn. Without your spark, Jane, and the pursuit of our directors, past and present, we would not be here today. Also to point out a few other people of our other board directors on here. If you could stand up as I call your name: David Madigan, Tom Bianculli, Judy Murrah, Jane Alcorn, Richard Gerns, Margaret Foster, and Mitch Maiman. In addition, we warmly thank our relentless, inventive, and creative leadership team, Mark, Doug, Danielle, and Bill, as well as all of our staff, current and past, coming through our mission. Your invaluable care and detail is warmly appreciated. Please stand for a quick thank you. To our honorees, some of our honorees. Our honorees, we believe these three gentlemen that we honor tonight embody the ideals and spirit of Nikola Tesla. Like prior honorees, each have a creative and passionate dedication to make the world a better place. Thank you to Dr. Shamash, Professor Chad Booten, and Sammy Chu. You all leave an indelible personal connection to all you work with. We are honored to honor each of you. Some of our guests I'd like to also personally thank: the Ambassador, Dr. Niksik of Serbia, over at table 5. Thank you for making this long trek and to be with us. Legislator Sarah Anker, who was here a little earlier, she had to leave. She has given us years of guidance, representation, and friendship. Senator Ken Laval, thank you for your years of guidance, particularly in our early years. Steve Engelbright, county legislator, a long-term supporter and cheerleader for us. Thank you. Mayor Tom Speyer, thank you again for your local support, your ongoing guidance, and being a great neighbor. Representatives from the county executive Steve Ballone are here as well, and Steve may be coming by later to say hello. Greg Olson is another person I'd like to say a quick hello and thank you to. Greg, over here, we're lucky to call you a friend and a mentor and supporter. And for all those that I have not personally thanked so far tonight, we're grateful for you and your support. A few key dates. In 1901, first 200-acre parcel Nikola Tesla purchased to imagine a radio city where our parcel, Wardenclyffe, was to be at its center. He imagined it would provide housing for its employees and would innovate endlessly as electricity and information were to be sent wirelessly around the world. The famous tower and lab buildings designed by Stanford White, a local favorite, at the specifications of Nikola Tesla. In 1903 was the only known testing of this tower. In 1917, with the loss of the property, the tower came down. In 1939 to 1982, there was a photofilm manufacturing which added on 18 buildings onto the lab building to the property, which currently right now is being demolished if anybody drives by, and it's to the support of everybody in this room that we've gotten there. Part of what's going to be very special, if you look at any imagery of the lab building, of when Nikola Tesla walked the grounds. It stood commanding the site, overseeing 25A, and we are returning the property to that vista that is seen on all four corners of the property. So for the next 30 years, manufacturing ended, and New York State did the cleanup. In 2012, we inspired fundraising worldwide to help Friends of Science East, which is us, to raise over $1.3 million in 45 days from over 33,000 people from 110 countries. This allowed us to save this place that matters. The mission of the Tesla Science Center, thank you. The mission of the Tesla Science Center, to develop the site of Nikola Tesla's last remaining laboratory, into a transformative global science center that embraces his bold spirit of invention, provides innovative learning experiences, fosters the advancement of new technologies, and preserves his legacy for the Tesla Museum. Our vision, a world where people appreciate Nikola Tesla's contributions, are inspired by his scientific audacity, and engage in the future and betterment of humanity. With Nikola Tesla's ethos and ideology as our touchstone, his drive to make this world a better place, guided by truth and fairness, we have built a community of amazing and inspirational local volunteers, national, international guidance and partners and partnerships to help us deliver Nikola Tesla's mission to in-person and wirelessly around the world. It is with his great inspired understanding and unlocking of potential of nature he sought the truth and discovered how to share it over a century ago. He was a man way beyond his time. We're here to celebrate his legacy. He continues to guide us to guide others who are inspired by his work through the development of our museum, understand how his science and engineering is applied through our science center, and is the basis of our development for our innovation incubator. Now, it is my honor to introduce Mark Leslie, our executive director.
Thank you, Mike. A round of applause for Mike Russo, our board president. I want to thank everybody for joining us here today. Luckily, Mike did all the heavy lifting. I think the staff knew that if I had a chance to acknowledge all of the VIPs and the sponsors, I'd have to tell a story about each and every one of them. And they want you to be able to get home sometime tonight. I do have some comments before I start calling up our honorees. And like Mike said, this is our 5th annual gala, but only the 2nd time in person. We shouldn't shy away from continuing to acknowledge this milestone of being back in person. I know it might seem a little trite. We've been doing it for about a year and a half or two, but for us, this is a big deal, and we do want to acknowledge that. It's something worthy of celebration. It's a testament to our people and our society that we got through that pandemic, and we're back to normal. Yeah. Thank you. COVID did set this organization back a few years. It slowed down our permitting process. It slowed down our capital campaign. And for the folks here tonight, I know, we're very grateful for your support. But I don't think everybody realizes that there's 2 different ways of fundraising when you're a not-for-profit. There's a capital campaign that goes towards buildings and capital construction, and there's operational funding. Both are absolutely necessary, especially when you're starting basically from scratch. And we're not only starting from scratch. It's not just a greenfield where we're popping up a building. We're taking a historic lab that is now on the National Historic Register. We're the first museum on a brownfield site in the country's history. It's a complicated project, and there's a lot of permits involved. So the capital fundraising is very important. Without that capital for the buildings, we don't have a project. But without support from galas and events like this tonight, this is our operational funding. This is how we have the minimal staff that we have to actually carry out the project. And so, events like this are just so important to us. I'm so grateful that you're here to support us in our operational fundraising. In April of 2020, when the pandemic hit, I called one of our advisors, Vince Cerf. I give our advisors an update every quarter, and I was giving him an update on how the project was going, but COVID had just hit. And I really needed advice on how am I going to make sure that this organization weathers this storm. And by the end of the call, Vint, who is known as one of the fathers of the internet and is currently an executive at Google, working on interstellar space communication, something very Tesla-esque, he agreed to be an honoree for a virtual gala. And everybody was just trying to figure out what a virtual gala was at that time. But thanks to our very dedicated staff, and specific shout out to Doug Borge, wherever he is seated tonight, who helped us learn in a very agile way how to do online events in a way that it wasn't, a snore fest. But between him and our tech-enabled volunteers, you see some of them here tonight helping to entertain you, we were able to pull off a gala that Vince's colleagues ended up calling and saying, that's the best online gala we've ever been to, and who can do it for us? And we were like, it was us, and we can't do it for you. And we were able to repeat that 3 times, and the funding that we raised from those online galas kept us alive. But to be here tonight and to be able to celebrate in person, and specifically to celebrate with the honorees that are right here from our backyard is really important to us. Tonight, we celebrate not just an evening, but a legacy, Nikola Tesla's legacy. The presence of 3 outstanding awardees is a testament to the undying spirit of Tesla, who continues to fuel our dreams, light up our imaginations, and push us towards creating a brighter future. Ours has been a journey of recalling the past and building the future. And tonight's gathering, rich with enthusiasm and purpose, is a vital step in fundraising for that future. In just the past year, our journey has been marked with significant milestones. We've secured an impressive $3.2 million in grants, embarked on the necessary demolition of the buildings surrounding the historic lab building, and we finalized the blueprints for the exterior preservation of the Wardenclyffe lab. These aren't just achievements on paper, they are foundational steps in realizing our dream. They are to transform Nikola Tesla's last remaining laboratory into a world-class science center museum, preserving his invaluable legacy and paving the way for future innovations. Your support tonight will go a long way to ensuring the success of the project and ensuring that all of those who want to know more about Tesla or want to know more about invention will have access to that programming. And tonight, we get to honor the Teslas of today.
To begin, allow me to offer a thought about one's legacy. I believe the greatest legacy that one can leave is the commitment made to mentor and nurture the next generation of thought leaders.
Welcome to the Gala to celebrate the Tesla Science Center and to honor outstanding achievements of 3 people who have been inspired by the life and work of Nikola Tesla.
And so these annual celebrations offer a chance for us to recognize others who have been equally productive and equally charismatic in their work, and also, therefore, inspirations for young people.
It's my honor to congratulate Dr. Yakov Samash receiving the prestigious Lifetime Achievement Award.
And you should be very, very proud, my friend, on all of your lifetime achievements based on the award you're getting today. There could be nobody more deserving than you. Congratulations.
Here we are honoring as our Innovator of the Year, Dr. Chad Boughton, whose work at Northwell and at the Feinstein Institute is changing patients' lives.
Congratulations to Chad on this great honor.
Chad, you certainly deserve the Innovator of the Year award.
We are extremely proud to have Sammy Chu as the recipient of our Rising Star Award.
It's certainly well deserved for all of the work that Sammy's doing in the clean energy space.
A salute to all who have made tonight's gala possible, and once again, heartiest congratulations to tonight's honorees.
Thank you. So I'll be calling up one by one each of our honorees tonight, and I'm going to be starting with the Rising Star Award. And we do have a small video before you make your way up here, Sammy. But, you know, this is relatively new to us. We always had given one award out. It was the Tesla Lifetime Achievement Award. And when we met to start planning the gala, it was actually one of our board members, Tom Bianculli, who said, you know, we should expand that and start looking at some of the others that are coming up and doing a lot of great work in innovation. And so the Rising Star Award is for someone that is, you know, in the beginnings of their career. Although when I offered this award to Sammy and hoped that he would accept, I think he feels like he's further along in his career. But I think a lot of people are expecting a whole lot more out of him over the next few years. If we can, I'd like to show you a little bit about Sammy before we bring him up.
We are extremely proud to have Sammy Chu as the recipient of our Rising Star Award.
It's certainly well-deserved for all of the work that Sammy's doing in the clean energy space.
I've known Sammy for years. I've watched his career progress. He's a Renaissance man.
When I was asked if I would accept the honor as Tesla's Rising Star, because it seems like I've been working forever, when I realized that must be an acknowledgement that the Tesla Science Center thinks that I still have much more to give.
His main focus is creating alternative energy projects here on Long Island and microgrids. He has really changed the way we think about our energy mix here on Long Island, and his work is in alignment with what Tesla's passion is, which is using the Earth's forces to power our lives.
It's a big honor to be on a program that has Tesla's name on it because of his innovative spirit. The prioritization of innovation is something that is, you know, integral to the values, how I live, and the business that we're building with Edgewise.
So without further ado, Sammy, would you please come up? Here I have certificates from County Legislator Sarah Anker and County Executive Steve Ballone. And here is the Tesla Rising Star Award.
Now everyone knows why I've been lifting all those weights. It's a pretty hefty award. So Mark's correct. I did have to think a minute when he called and said, hey, we want to give you a Rising Star Award. But the truth is, it's actually, I'm not that far along into this career. Over 22 years ago, my wife, Jennifer, who's here tonight, she's sitting next to my son, Jacob. My daughter, Julia, couldn't be here because she is rehearsing for the, I hope I don't butcher this, the all Suffolk County All-County Orchestra performance tomorrow night, right? In the spirit of debunking any profiles, I know a lot of people think her last name is Chu and she's a violinist. It has nothing to do with my side of the family. She gets all her music ability from my wife, who more than 22 years ago married an electrician, an apprentice electrician. That's how I got my start. A lot of people don't realize that at this point because I have been working a long time. And then I was an electrician for about 10 years. And I never could have imagined back then when I was, you know, putting the hot and the neutral between my thumb and my index finger when that was still acceptable on a job site, you know, that I'd be working on the cutting edge of, you know, trying to, you know, find not only Long Island but, you know, our world's energy future. And then I eventually stumbled into the government, completely accidentally, politics and government, because I developed some political, you know, values as a trade unionist and was very passionate during the 2004 election. And when in government, I actually had the opportunity. I did install my first solar panel in 2004. That was about my biggest exposure to clean energy to that point. But when I started working for the town of Babylon in 2007, I saw that they were they advertised for employees. They were offering lead trainings for lead credentialing. And that's when I stumbled on it. I said, this seems like a good idea. I was running buildings and grounds, and I met Dorian Dale. Please give Dorian Dale a round of applause. And he claims this is the only reason I invited him tonight, because I like to backhand affectionately acknowledge him as both my mentor and mentor. And those of you who know Dorian well, that will make perfect sense to you. And that really started off my journey and in clean energy passion. I had a I was fortunate to have a time in government where I got to work on a great number of things, not least of which was helping this county recover from Sandy. And then when I left government in 2015, it was the first time in my life where I actually had an opportunity to have intention. And I had an opportunity to take some time and figure out exactly what I wanted to do with the rest of my working life. And I examined what was important to me. I knew I wanted to do something in clean energy. And the things that I knew after examination were really important to me, where I wanted to have impact, I wanted to be able to solve problems, and I wanted to work with a good team. And that was only in 2015. And here we are, and I'm doing all those things. So I'm very blessed. I'm very grateful to be honored amongst. I'm not a professor. I'm not a doctor. So we have Professor Buda. We have Dr. Shamash. And I have to give Yakov special credit. My company was as a graduate of Edgewise Energy, a graduate of the Clean Energy Business Incubator Program. David Hamilton is here. Trudy Sharma is here. Yeah, give him a round of applause. And that program is amongst the lifetime of achievement for Yakov. So thank you for that. But to be honored amongst you, he's going to get more, but you give him a round of applause now. It's a night. It's a theme. But to be honored not only with these gentlemen, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a professor, but by weight, I'm the biggest honoree here tonight. Let alone to be honored under the banner and name of Tesla in his honor is really humbling. He is certainly someone we can look to and want to emulate, and certainly to even come close to innovating to the extent he would, to do a fraction of what he did would make anyone satisfied with a career. But I will say there are lessons to do things differently than Tesla did. Tesla did. That's someone's steak is ready. Tesla didn't take very good care of himself. So when it comes to being a rising star, if we are all going to continue to let our stars rise, it's important to take care of ourselves. And I think, especially after recovering from COVID and after the last month, which has been a very hard month, and I'll acknowledge because it's not immediately recognizable by my name, but a lot of you affectionately know me as Sammy Chu, the Chinese Jew. It's been a tense month for conversation, and a lot of it's happened because we've lost the ability to communicate with each other. And I will say almost everything I've been able to accomplish here, and a lot of it's in collaboration with these people in the room, is because we've connected and we've worked together. We've looked at each other in the eye, and we've listened to each other. We didn't talk at each other. We talked to each other. So I think that's an important lesson, that Tesla didn't do a very good job of taking care of himself, and at times he wasn't always the best communicator, and certainly wasn't a very good negotiator. I don't know if all of you know this. Tesla originally had a royalty of $2.50 per horsepower of AC electricity produced. And then Westinghouse fell into financial trouble, and Tesla just said, oh, forget about the royalty. He didn't negotiate. He didn't say, give me $1.25. He didn't say, give me 1% of that. And that's another important lesson we can learn from Tesla, is have a great attorney if you're in business. And I'm glad my attorney here, Anthony Acapora, is here. Thank you to Mark. Thank you to Michael Russo. I really appreciate the honor. And I hope dinner's going to come, because that guy didn't sound too well. Thank you.
Thank you, Sammy. Now, Sammy touched upon a very important concept in that when you look at what drove Nikola Tesla, it was innovating for the improvement of humanity. And specifically, his passion for wireless was all about communication. He felt that if the world was communicating seamlessly, we would eventually get to the point where there were no wars, and humanity could lift itself up and start exploring. And he did think that as long as he made billions for industrialists, they would take care of him. So we do learn from his career that we want to protect innovators and make sure that they continue to innovate and get the funding they deserve. I learned some of that from our next honoree. We're going a little bit out of order, but we're going to be calling up our honoree for the Lifetime Achievement Award. And I think almost everybody in this room knows Yakov, and I'm going to steal Peter Goldsmith's line. You only need to say the name Yakov. He's like Cher. Everybody knows who Yakov is. You don't need to say the last name. I met Yakov when I was serving in the state legislature, and he came to my office and was advocating that we should try to get the world's fastest computer for Brookhaven National Lab. I think we called it Big Blue eventually. What was it, 26 teraflops or whatever, maybe way more than that. It was the fastest computer for about 6 months in the world, but it cost $26 million, but it was how we met each other. We were able to get that funding in the state budget, and then I just paid attention because Yakov really spoke for the innovation community, and if you wanted to see innovation on Long Island or in New York State, you should be paying attention. I decided that I didn't want to be in politics anymore, although people also helped me make that decision, but I was originally thinking I shouldn't be in politics anymore anyway, and that I should be a startup entrepreneur. And once I was trying to figure out what was next in my life, I called a friend of mine who's here tonight, Mike Russell, and Mike was an advisor. He was the former chief of staff for the New York State Senate and former SUNY trustee, and was just a great advisor in my years in the legislature. And I was asking Mike, I need some advice. And he took me out for a beer at Pentimento. And it was 7 o'clock at night on a Friday. And Mike likes to call people while you're having a beer with him and throw them on the phone. And so he calls Yakov and says, Mark really needs to talk to you. Yakov said, I'll be there in 10 minutes. So he didn't get on the phone, but he drove down, and they helped map out my transition into the tech sector. And so being able to come full circle and honor Yakov as a Tesla of today is really important to me. I'd like to cue a quick video we put together for Yakov.
What is it that makes Yakov such a great leader? Working with people is one of his greatest gifts.
You should be very, very proud, my friend, on all of your lifetime achievements based on the award you're getting today. There could be nobody more deserving than you.
I'm very thankful to the committee and to the center for honoring me this way. Two of the major achievements I think that I've had have been the establishment of 2 centers.
Everything from the Center of Excellence in Advanced Energy to the Center of Excellence in Wireless Technology. These are institutions that are laying the foundation of innovation in these 2 sectors well into the future.
The Advanced Energy Center at Stony Brook wouldn't be there without your support. Thank you for all that you do in supporting economic development and energy research, not only on Long Island, but throughout the world.
His imprint will be everlasting at Stony Brook for generations to come. Thank you, Yakov, for all your efforts, and congratulations on a well-deserved award.
You show me how true leader earns respect from colleagues and community, not by the title, but by the manner and cares from the heart.
Thou honors are many, and your plaques line the walls. Your greatest legacy is the light you shine on us all. So we thank you, Dr. Samash, on this day of praise for inspiring boundless hope for tomorrow's days.
So when you think of Nikola Tesla, there was 217 patents, and he touched almost every technology that touches our lives today. but most people think of energy and electricity and his passion for using the Earth's forces to power our lives, so alternative energy, and wireless. And here tonight, we're honoring the founder of the Center for Wireless Technology at Stony Brook and the Center for Advanced Technology, a true Tesla of today, receiving the Tesla Lifetime Achievement Award, Yakov Shamash.
Good evening, everyone. And it's really great to be here. The ice, you know, when they give you the Lifetime Award, that means you already are over the hill, right? You know that. But colleagues and friends, I think I know a lot of you, many of you. We're all friends. I wish to congratulate my fellow awardees, Chad and Sammy, who I've gotten to know well. Sammy I've known for a long time, Chad more recently in the past couple of years. It's a wonderful honor to share this event with you. I'd like to also like to thank Mark Alessi, the board of directors of the Tesla Center, for the great honor that they have bestowed on me. And before I say anything, I must also thank, you know, my many friends here. I can't name any names because if I name one and I forget one, you know, that's something I learned that's why I get the Lifetime Award. But I do want to thank you all very much. Appreciate your friendship and your support over the years. But I do want first thank my family. Without them and without the support that they've given me over the years, I wouldn't be here. So the first would be my wife Linda, and unfortunately she could not be here, but she's watching on the TV, so she can hear me. Thank you, Linda. Thank you very much. I also, my daughter, Hila, who's living in New Rochelle, she couldn't make it, and so she's watching on the But I'm happy to say that my son, Aaron, is here. Stand up, Aaron. I'm very proud of both kids. I'm also honored to have my two nephews here, David and Raymond. So with that, it's incredible to me as an electrical engineer who began my journey at Imperial College in London. And during the past, can I say the number of years? Sure. Yeah, past 50 years. I'm only 60, by the way, okay? So just worked with many colleagues in academia and industry. A lot of my friends here are academics, but also I have many, many friends in industry and state government, with results that included the establishment of 2 New York State Centers of Excellence. That's a major, major thing, and I just diverge here a little bit to tell you that Judy, while she was at Symbol, and when we had CA, we were able to get the Center for Wireless and Information Technology when Governor Pataki at the time declared that we're going to have four centers of excellence in the state. And all of them were Syracuse, Buffalo, Albany, and another one.
Binghamton?
Where?
Binghamton?
Binghamton, no, not Binghamton. Binghamton came later. But anyway, 4. And so CA and Symbol said, what about us on Long Island? You know, we chopped liver. And so with the support of Senator Laval and others on Long Island, we managed to get that center. And we received $50 million at the time to start building it. And then after that, Bob Cattell, you saw on the screen here, and myself, we essentially worked very hard to obtain a Center for Advanced Energy Technology, again as a center of excellence. Now, I didn't do all that by myself. It wouldn't have happened, but it was my relationships with the industry and having incredible colleagues at Stony Brook that essentially helped make that a reality. But all that was done, and the recognition I'm getting today is associated with Nikola Tesla. Our world today is impossible to imagine without Tesla's contributions to our understanding of electric energy and our ability to control it, to transmit it in huge volumes, to use it safely, efficiently, and affordably, and to achieve his enduring dream of wireless communications and eliminate the distance that divides us. That was all essentially fits in very well with the 2 centers, and the 2 centers essentially consist of faculty and staff and support staff that essentially are living what Nikola Tesla wanted to do, which is to essentially build wireless technology. Okay, and he started it, but he didn't finish it. So the Tesla Science Center at Wardenclyffe is more than a memorial to a giant of the past whose work continues to point in new directions. It represents the spirit of relentless curiosity and passionate determination to stretch the boundaries of what's possible. The Tesla Center's vision of a transformative global science center that embraces his bold spirit of invention, nurtures adventurous learning, and drives technology innovation, is keeping that spirit alive to inspire new generations of dreamers and inventors and innovators. They will tackle the challenges of today and tomorrow as we have engaged those of yesterday and today. When they do, they will succeed by working together. Although Tesla was a notorious loner, he collaborated with other engineers and technicians in companies that were run by others and in his own workshops to get his inventions into the marketplace. Decades of experience in academic research and in industry partnerships that keep our feet on the ground while our eyes are looking toward the future have taught me that collaboration creates innovations that are both rigorous and visionary. Technology has erased geographic distances that couldn't have come at a better time. The great challenges of our time, including climate change, food and water scarcity, and decarbonizing the economy, are too big for any of us to go it alone. No lab, no company, no country has all the resources it will take to craft solutions. Our joint dedication to overcoming these challenges is the only sure pathway to success. Tesla's knowledge, his imagination, and his determination are a beacon to lead our efforts. Together, we will achieve more than we ever thought possible. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Yakov. Yakov was correct in that when you give a Lifetime Achievement Award, you're trying to give an award to someone and celebrate their career. And I had thought that Yakov was in the, considering retirement. And when I asked him what he was up to, he's not done yet. He secured all this additional funding to do major research in wireless and grid technology. So I have a feeling we're going to have to do an addendum to this award 10 years from now. But thank you, Yakov. So we're going to split up the program. We do want to make sure that you get the dinners that you paid for. And it's the food here is fantastic. I'm going to call up one of our VIPs to address you all. I haven't seen him, but I heard he's here in the crowd. We're going to have dinner after he speaks. And then we are going to do our final award of the evening for the Innovator of the Year. And then we have a special guest that we just confirmed last week that she was able to join us. But she's my personal guest of honor, and I'll introduce her after dinner as well, and you'll be hearing from her. But without further ado, I'd like to call up my friend, our county executive, Steve Ballone.
Good evening, everyone. It's great to be with you, and I know we're getting the food next, so I'm going to be as quick as I can. First of all, Mark Alessi was an amazing assemblyman in the New York State Legislature, amazing public servant. But what he has done post that work is incredible and inspiring and so great for Long Island. Thank you, Mark, for your wonderful leadership. And everyone at the Tesla Science Center, I love this, this place. It is such a wonderful thing for Long Island, and I'm grateful to all of you who have brought it to where it is today and so excited about what is ahead in the future. To all of our honorees, I want to congratulate them, of course, to Yakov, Lifetime Achievement Award. You did it, my friend. Congratulations. Yakov, I always enjoyed every time a new building went up, a new center was being announced. I was cheering because I knew what it meant for Suffolk County. I knew what it meant for Long Island. And I am so grateful to you for everything that you have done. And I think Mark is 100% right. I was thinking the same thing when you were getting a Lifetime Achievement Award. Give me a break. He is not done. There's no way. Yakov, thank you, and congratulations to you. To Professor Boughton, the Feinstein Institutes for Medical Research, we are so fortunate to have the amazing innovators there. Professor, we have not had the, I have not had the privilege of meeting you, but I congratulate you, and I'm grateful to all of the team at the Feinstein Institutes for Medical Research for the amazing work that you're doing. So thank you, and congratulations to you. And finally, to, I think he's the rising star. I would say he's risen, for sure. Sam Chu is somebody I've known for many years. He has been a great public servant. For those of you who don't know, who only know him from the energy sector, he has had a career in government, and I'm proud to say he started with me when I was Babylon Town Supervisor. And I immediately became aware he was one of the most innovative and dynamic people that I had come across in government. And as a result of his work in Babylon, we broke new ground. We created the first PACE property assessed clean energy program in the nation. We didn't know we were doing that at the time. He didn't know he was doing it. We were just trying to solve a problem. But in doing so, we broke new ground. And he came to the county with me as labor commissioner, chief of staff, and what he has done in the private sector for which he's getting this award has been incredible. And certainly the name Tesla belongs associated with somebody like this innovator. So congratulations, Sammy, and I know you're going to continue to do amazing things. I see my friend Dorian Dale is with us, who worked with us to create the Green Homes program. Dorian, thank you, who's still part of our team in Suffolk County. Thank you, Dorian. So finally, I am here to announce, I don't think it's been announced, but we have been presenting awards to organizations that are contributing to our county and our region. We received an amount of federal funding that we have mostly utilized to invest in infrastructure, clean water infrastructure, and water quality. It's such an important issue here. But we also wanted to dedicate a portion of that to institutions and to projects that are doing amazing things for Long Island and for Suffolk County. And this is certainly one of those that's at the top of the list. Although it was a small portion of money we had to do this, this project stood out. This work that is happening here stood out. And so I'm very proud to say, on behalf of our committee, which included the presiding officer, Kevin McCaffrey, and Minority Leader Jason Richburg, as well as Sarah Lansdale, our Economic Development Commissioner, that we are awarding $1.15 million to the Tesla Science Center at Wardenclyffe to continue your amazing work and amazing journey. Congratulations, Mark, and congratulations to the entire team.
Thank you, County Executive Bellone. An innovator in his own right, like he mentioned with the alternative energy programs he launched when he first became county executive. It's been about 12 years that he's been county executive, and I think we could all agree that we hope he's somebody that's not done, because he's leaving the county a whole lot better than he found it. So thank you, County Executive Bellone. So please enjoy your dinners, and we'll be back in a few.
I'm going to go and call up Mark Alessi to come back up to the booth. So how about a nice big round of applause for Mark?
I think I was just called up. I was speaking to someone, but I think I heard my name. So we'd like to get the program, the second half of our program started. And hope you enjoyed your dinner. Dessert will be served while we're going through the program. So we're going into honoring our Innovator of the Year. And when our committee first presented Chad to us, I have heard of him and his inventions, but I did not realize the impact that they were having. And once I realized, exactly what he was working on in terms of these electrical physiology devices, which Tesla, to a certain extent, worked on in his career. Tesla experimented with electrical devices and the effect on human health for various ailments, but he was not curing paralysis, which is what our next honoree has been working on. So I'd like to introduce Dr. Boughton's video, and then we'll call him up to receive the Innovator of the Year award.
Why we felt it was important to honor Dr. Boughton, because Nikola Tesla worked with electrophysiology devices in the 1800s. Over 100 years later, here we are honoring Dr. Chad Boughton as our Innovator of the Year.
Since our time together at Battelle, Chad has continued to successfully apply his desire to learn, create new knowledge, and better mankind to many medical challenges.
We have created what is called a double neural bypass. With this technology, we were able to enable a paralyzed person to move and feel their hand and their fingers again.
This story, Chad's work, and this patient represent a first.
And for his efforts to commercialize that technology so it will become available on an affordable basis to many, many more people. Chad, you certainly deserve the Innovator of the Year award.
This was a huge moment, and I'd like to share this award with the entire team and all of my colleagues that made this possible.
Chad, you are the cornerstone of my professional legacy, and I cannot emphasize how proud I am of your growth and success as a scientist, inventor, entrepreneur, leader, and fine human being. I wish you all the best in your future endeavors.
So I made the correlation between Nikola Tesla and Dr. Boughton based on the electrophysiology devices, but I think the deeper connection is Nikola Tesla was all about the innovation for improvement of humanity, and we are on the cusp of curing diseases that we've been trying to cure for quite some time and solve issues that felt like they were just out of reach. And here we're attacking paralysis right here on Long Island with such a great inventor, Dr. Chad Boughton, Innovator of the Year.
Okay, I only have 37 pages to go through. But I'm already upset with Sammy for two reasons, but congratulations. And congratulations to Yakov. But I'm upset with Sammy because, first, he stole my entire first line of my speech, so I had to cross it out. I got to start a little bit later. Not that line, different line. And second of all, because I wish I still qualified for the Rising Star, but a little too old. All right, so I'm going to make the mistake Yakov said not to make and try to name a lot of people but I'll go quickly. I want to thank the organizers, Mark, Danielle, everyone that's been involved with this for such an incredible honor. It's just to have your name attached to an award, with Nikola Tesla's name attached. It's something just that's kind of unbelievable, because I idolized him growing up and have always been a fan of his passion and everything he's done for humanity. I want to thank my entire team as well. I won't go through every single name, but Dr. Chandra Shekharan, who's here tonight, and the rest of the group at the lab are really the ones that deserve this award, so I want to recognize them right now. Santosh has been with me for almost half a decade, now that I think about it. And the journey has been wonderful. I've learned so much from those that have been my mentorees, and I've learned so much from my mentors, who you saw a few in the videos. This award wouldn't have been possible without all of those friendships, the many kind of lessons through the years. This award is for all of you guys. I want to thank my partners, including IPS, who's here tonight. So yes, thanks. Mitch Mayman, Bob Wild, Jace Whiteman, the whole team. They've been helping us commercialize the technology that you saw in the videos. And we really hope to meet some of our goals for this coming year and make the technology available to the 100 million plus people around the world living with paralysis. So we're going to do it, and thanks for your help and everyone's help in helping us do that. Okay, and last but not least, I want to thank many of our supporters, our board members, including Susan Karchis, Tom Owens. They were here tonight as well. We couldn't do any of what you saw and what we do without the support of all of these folks. So thank you so much. Okay, and last but not least, I want to thank my wife, who's here tonight as well. She has supported me through my entire career. She's been my partner. She said, "Don't get choked up," but hard to do. But I love you, and you've always been there. So thank you for everything. And my kids, who couldn't be here tonight, they're both in college and hopefully studying. Maybe they're watching. But they also inspire me, and I always tried to tell them to follow their passion. So if you guys are watching, keep following your passions. It's Will and Abigail, because that's what Nikola Tesla did. He followed his passions, not the money, but something you care about. That's really what's important. And I want to thank my parents as well, because they're the ones who taught me that same lesson. Follow your passion. And they also taught me that there are certain things that are important in life and that are valuable, but you have to figure out what those are. And again, it's not money. It's what kind of gives you those, what I call the good butterflies in your stomach, and what makes you wake up every morning and be very excited for the day. And lastly, I want to end with a brief story. Years ago, well, almost 30 years ago, I was in the wrong place at the wrong time one night. And I sustained a traumatic brain injury myself. And that would change my life forever, but oddly, in a good way. I was very lucky and recovered, but at first, I couldn't even speak. I had expressive aphasia, along with many other issues, but went through therapy and was able to regain the ability to speak. And at that time, I could only say 2 words. And I'm not going to tell you what those words were yet. I'll tell you those in just a few minutes. But this changed my life. And just a few years into my career, I had the opportunity to work with folks that have not been so lucky in their recoveries. Folks that have suffered a stroke or that have suffered a spinal cord injury. The list goes on, or other neurodegenerative conditions. But our goal was to, and this is 16, 17 years ago, our goal was to help someone who is paralyzed by placing a tiny chip in their brain. Initially it was just one chip. What you saw in the video was 5 chips. But that one chip started everything. So we used it to record signals from the brain, and the motor area is responsible for movement, and we were able to tell when someone was thinking about opening their hand or closing their hand or moving their wrist or their arm. And those initial patients were able to surf the web just with their thoughts, drive wheelchairs using their mind, and they started a revolution. And what you saw in the video was a man named Keith Thomas who lives here right on Long Island, and just a few months ago he made medical history and became the first paralyzed person to regain both movement and regain sensation in his fingertips right here, here in New York, right on Long Island. And so he is showing us what is really possible, along with the millions of other patients around the world living with paralysis. They're inspiring us every day, teaching us and showing us what is possible. And I'm reminded to be grateful every day. And to finally say those 2 simple words in a much more forceful and loud way: thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for this award. Thank you for everyone's support. Thanks to my family, my friends, for your love. Thank you for everyone and for believing in me and our team for what we're doing today. Thank you and good night. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Boughton. It's an amazing history that I didn't realize. And as I'm watching Dr. Boughton speak, I'm laughing that I wasn't paying attention, and all our honorees are probably wondering, why is there a purple bow tie up here? And I took it just in case I wanted to wear a bow tie tonight, and it was in my folder, and everybody's talking in front of this bow tie. I like to wear purple at Tesla galas because it was Tesla's favorite color. I'm colorblind, so I had to walk into my son's room today and like, is this purple? He's like, it's kind of blue. Is it almost purple? Because I really like this tie. This tie was a gift to me from a family foundation in Serbia that I was introduced to on a recent trip. And I'd like to call up my honored guest who brought me to Serbia twice this year to truly start laying the groundwork for an international science center. When we talk about the Tesla Science Center being an international science center, what does that mean? And, you know, first of all, half of what we're going to do is virtual. You see the virtual reality booth. That's just the very beginning of some of the things we have planned. And why we're looking at this, you know, as an international center is, 1, Tesla was a global figure. 2, I think we're the only science center that we could actually say the world saved this place. 108 countries, 33,000 donors, all 50 states of the United States donated to save this location because it meant something. And so we owe them content. And then 3, it's 2023. So we're not looking to build a crystal palace and hope people come. We're going to restore the lab. We're going to build the footprint that makes sense for the traffic that we're expecting in person, which is pretty substantial. But then we want to lay the groundwork and do great programming for people from all over the United States and all over the world. And so I'd like to call up the Ambassador for Cultural Affairs for the Republic of Serbia, Liliana Niksic. And as she comes up, I'd like to make a toast to truly bringing Nikola Tesla and the Tesla Science Center to the international stage. Thank you, Ambassador Niksich. Cheers.
And your bow tie, okay. So, dear Tesla people, congratulations. I did fly today 11 hours from Serbia, intercontinental, to be here tonight as an honored guest of this unique gentleman, Mr. Mark Alessi. I would kindly like to ask you to help me start my speech by standing up and making a big standing ovations to you. Thank you so much. We are so very grateful to your enthusiasm and your passion to save the last Tesla lab in the world. This is actually saving it not only for United States of America, not only for New York, not only for Long Island, but for the entire humanity. So, as my friend Mark Alessi said, Tesla was a global personality, and you deserve, and the world deserve, International Global Tesla Committee. Before I talk about Tesla, you who are cherishing the culture of remembrance of Nikola Tesla on such a dignified way, you deserve recognition that I brought, since tonight is the day, tonight is the night of the awards, so allow me to give a modest award to the Tesla Board of Directors and Mr. Mark Alessi personally. But I would like to ask Mr. President Michael Rousseau, Jean-Jacques Rousseau, Monsieur Rousseau. Can you stand, please? So I would like to read the names of these extraordinary people, outstanding personalities. So here it goes. The Board of Directors, Michael Rousseau, the President, Richard Gerns, PhD Vice President, Janice Scherer, Secretary, Edward Fred, Treasurer, Mary Dawn, PhD, David Madigan, Eugene Genova, Jane Alcorn, Margaret Foster, Mitchell Maiman, Judy Murray, Charles Bonomo, Ellen Deutsch, Peter Klein, Michelle Dean, Thomas D. Bianculi. So I would like to give a title of Tesla Ambassador, since tonight I am also coming as not only ambassador, but also a national coordinator of a strategic campaign marking 80 years of culture of remembrance on Nikola Tesla, who passed away in 1943 in New Yorker, as a fellow New Yorker. And he was a Serbian by his birth, but he was American with all of his heart and by his own choice. So together we make Tesla people, and I would, before I would like to give the Tesla title, Tesla Ambassador title, to Mr. President Russo for the entire team at Wardenclyffe for the amazing endeavor for entire humanity. Thank you so much. This is also for Mark Alessi, for the archives, actually the exhibition, or how to say exhibit. These are the buttons of Nikola Tesla and Mikhailo Pupin. Of Nikola Tesla you have heard a lot tonight, but of Mikhailo Pupin you have to know that he was one of the founding fathers of NASA in 1915 and a great friend of a great American president, the 28th American president, Woodrow Wilson, who did order the Serbian flag to fly as the first foreign flag ever to fly on the White House on July 28, 1918. And all of you who are interested, I have brought a little bit of, how to say, topics of the Serbian-American friendship and relations, diplomatic ties that really bond our two nations, our Tesla nations. And here it is for you, whoever would like to approach later on. I'm willing to speak and talk to you. And I also had a pleasure to give one of these also to Mr. Steve Ballone. Before he left, unfortunately, he had to leave with a homework to work on these topics, because I hope that this is the historical night, as my friend said, that we start the global, how to say, internationalization of this site. And as I said, work locally, but think globally. And we are here with all of our hearts. We came here tonight. I'm not alone here. I'm with a delegation. The General Consul of Serbia started his mission today. Mr. Vladimir Božović, can you stand up, please? So, and also tonight with me is Aleksandra Otašević. She is a journalist who is in charge of reporting for our television and our newspapers back home, so that they would know what a serious and great job you're doing, outstanding job. So thank you so much once again. And I would also like to give an award to one foundation, since Mark has been telling us about crowdfund, which was really great. Well, actually, there are two people, Mr. Inman and Mr. Elon Musk. Elon Musk Foundation. Can you please help me, Alexandra? Evo taj drugi paket. So I would like to ask Mark also for Elon Musk Foundation, who became this year on Tesla's birthday in Belgrade, when Mark was for the first time guest of the government of the Republic of Serbia officially on visit. So this is a little token of appreciation for saving for the world this really very special, invaluable heritage, Tesla's legacy. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
So I hope you will be able to give it to,
Me too.
to the Tesla, to the Elon Musk Foundation. Also, we brought Tesla Bulletin, a model of it. We did collect this year on the occasion of 80 years of culture of remembrance, because we do not use the word 8 years of death because he didn't die, because this night, tonight, proves that he lives on. Tesla legend lives on, as long as we all remember. So I would like to give also a Tesla bulletin to the archives, to the, okay? So, and also, well, I think that it is important that tonight we start the language and vocabulary of friendship, the Tesla Bridge, and I would kindly like to ask Lisa to help me out with the first words of Serbian-American friendship that we are learning tonight on this special occasion. Well, Mark had this experience in Belgrade, so I think that Lisa needs to do it now for a change. So she has been practicing, by the way. And, well, Lisa, would you start, please? Can you come here? So
certainly. I think I'm among friends who know that I usually have a county executive who speaks, but I am here tonight to support the ambassador with my Serbian since about an hour ago. Okay. Dobar dan.
Dobar dan.
Good afternoon or good evening, right?
Right. Prijatelji.
Prijatelji means friends.
Dobroskalici.
Okay. Yes. Welcome.
Serbi Amerikaniki su prijatelji.
Serbs and Americans are friends.
Cultura sikana.
So, culture of remembrance.
Lupa.
Love.
Poverje.
Trust.
Poof, that one is poverje.
Okay. Sacrifice, because you're sacrificing your time and your energy for the higher cause.
Hirohi.
You are the heroes.
This one, I guess. Superherohi.
Superheroes.
I love that one. Okay. Zerte.
So, sacrifice, right?
Slobota.
The freedom.
Serbia Amerikaki Narad su Teslan Narad.
Serbs and Americans are Tesla people.
Yes, we are. Teslan Narad ye Bratski Narad.
Tesla people are brothers. Just for the end of this little speech, there are 4 things that we need to do. So, International Global Tesla Committee, Tesla Prize as equivalent to the Nobel Peace Prize. You, from the New World, you gave new hope to all the people all over the globe. So Tesla came here to this country to fulfill his dreams. That is why America is the great country. And in this case, we need to do the Tesla Day to remember all his deeds, all of his 700 inventions, out of which only 300 are registered. And finally, we need to put this site under UNESCO World Heritage. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ambassador. I think we have one more video in the program to help close the program, and then I will bid you a good night. Please cue our video. This year is one of the most exciting years we've had because we have begun the construction phase. After years of fundraising and planning, we were able to break ground in May of this year. This is a painstaking process. We're on track, but we always can use the support
of those who want to see Tesla's legacy preserved and celebrated.
Tesla is a charismatic character, someone who really thought big and dramatically, and we want young people in the world to think similarly.
His technologies and inventions have lasted the test of time.
We honor someone who has had such an impact on the way we live our lives. Even more important now, essentially, is to make sure that his legacy is maintained.
His ideas are still alive, and it's incredible how they've inspired generations of scientists and engineers to continue and to develop the future.
The Tesla Science Center and this reclamation of Wardenclyffe really is so important because Tesla was really intent on creating an environment that we're just now being positioned to see the possibilities for.
One of the things I think that will happen in the future, not only satellites flying out there, but satellites essentially with solar cells that will essentially collect energy from the sun and transmit them to Earth, and which fits in very well with his invention.
Tesla never got the opportunity to finish his tower and change the world. But today, we're able to finish Wardenclyffe with your support and incentivize the Teslas of tomorrow to realize his dream of clean, renewable energy that can help power our lives. We have enough on hand to get started, open the visitor center, get open to the public on a daily basis, and start on the lab building. But our goal is to raise a total of another $7.5 to $8 million to ensure we have the funding on hand after the lab building is done to construct world-class exhibits. So what do we need today? We need your support. Please get involved, donate. If you are inspired by Nikola Tesla, this is the most important project globally to help celebrate his legacy and tell his story.
Thank you. I want to thank our sponsors, our gold sponsors, Amazon, Zebra, Infinix, Claire Friedlander Foundation, Tomislav Kundik, the Corey Foundation, our silver sponsor, Energize for Us, our copper sponsors, Gershow Recycling, PSEG Long Island, Applied DNA Sciences, Robert Cattell, Campolo Middleton McCormick, and Edgewise Energy. I'd like to thank you. Bronze sponsors, Extenet, Hawkins Web, Intelibs, NYIT, Mahendra Dharai, and the Hearst Media, Illuminato Group, PTS, which is Portable Technology Solutions, working in wireless, the Long Island Power Authority, and Northwell Health. Please give our bronze sponsors a round of applause. And then finally, our friends, Ruskin Moscow and Faltachek, A Plus Technologies, STS, Suffolk County Economic Development Corporation, Fifth Vantage, Eversource, GHO Ventures, Markham Accounting, and Thaler Riley Wilson. Thank you. Oh, and Douglas Elliman. Thank you so much. Each of you here tonight, our sponsors, our attendees, co-hosts, dedicated dinner committee, and our generous donors play an integral role in this journey. Your vision, passion, and commitment is what keeps the flame of innovation alive, allowing us to inch closer to our dream of establishing this museum as a beacon of excellence. Thank you for your support. The funds raised will propel us further, especially as we commence the construction of the first building we are opening to the public next year, the Eugene Sayan Visitor Center. But our journey doesn't end here. I urge you to keep the momentum alive, continue supporting our mission. Our annual campaign is now open, and your contributions will be instrumental in shaping the future we all envision. We cannot do it without your support. Thank you for being a part of this remarkable journey. Have a great evening.